Well, now to our special series, War on Cancer, highlighting new fronts in the battle against the disease.
Today's Craig Melvin is here with a very personal story. Craig, good to see you. Good
guys,
morning.
good to see you as well. You never want to hear of anyone getting a cancer diagnosis, but when I got a call a few months ago about someone dear to me, it nearly knocked me off my feet. There seemed no way it could be true. Turns out, a growing number of families are being affected just like mine. Few people are as close to death every day as Lawrence Meadows. He's the co-owner of a funeral home in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It's a calling guided by a faith he's had since he was a boy.
Prayer hath no barriers.
At this church, he's not just a member, he's the pastor.
We ought to take time out of our schedule and pray sometimes.
All his life, he's been active and healthy. I know because I've known him all my life. Lawrence is my older brother. But now, at the age of 39, he's been diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. I could not get my head around it being you because you've always, no smoking, no drinking, no partying.
Yeah, I was like, man, gosh, I should have been drinking and smoking and doing all that other stuff. If I'm gonna have this diagnosis, I should have been getting all the other stuff in too.
That's Lawrence in his funeral home, talking about a potentially deadly diagnosis, but doing what he's done since we were little. Cracking jokes. His doctor removed a baseball-sized tumor from his abdomen in October, but the cancer had already spread. Now, he spends a lot of time at the MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston.
And this is the lining of the abdomen?
His doctor, Scott Kopet, says he's seeing a troubling trend with early onset cases, meaning patients under 45.
We're expecting that these incidences will continue to rise and may increase by about 50% over the next 15 years.
Dr. Kopet says African Americans are twice as likely to develop early onset colon cancer as whites, and a recent study shows a wide gap in the survival rates. What's most troubling? Experts can't figure out why. They've developed tests to detect genetic markers in some cases, but Lawrence showed none of the markers. He was told to reach out to family. That means me.
We recommend that relatives of patients diagnosed with colon cancer have their first screening colonoscopy done 10 years before the age of onset. So as soon as you hit 29, it's time to get a colonoscopy.
I'm 37. This is part of the problem with early onset cases. The American Cancer Society says most people should start getting regular colonoscopies at the age of 50. For higher risk groups, it's 45. No help to Lawrence and our family, including his wife, Angela, and their 2 children, Addie and Lawson. He insists he's not scared of death. How often do you think about it?
Every day. I don't know how I look at my children who, especially for our son, well, both our kids, but Lawson adores his daddy, It's hard for me to look at that little boy who is like, oh, where's my dad? And just think, he doesn't know what we're dealing with.
Their life is now focused on keeping the cancer at bay, which means flying to Houston every other week for chemo treatments. We were there when Lawrence got the results of his latest round of tests.
Our goal was to try to stop its growth. Certainly accomplished that, but I think even better, we're seeing some shrinkage of the cancer.
The doctor even showed us where it's shrinking.
There is no cure for colon cancer. It's like cutting grass to cut it back, to cut it back, to cut it back till eventually it just dies.
Back in South Carolina, he's determined.
I don't have any more fights to pick.
This is a big fight.
This is the only fight I'm focused on.
I got you.
Evicting cancer from me.
With the support of family and his doctors, Lawrence leans on a faith that's defined his life, hoping and praying for God's grace. So Lawrence has 5 more rounds of chemo until his next CT scan, so hopefully the tumor will have gotten even smaller. And people who have a family history, especially folks who look like me, should talk to their doctor about getting screened.
We love
Perfect
you, Craig.
information, Craig. Thank you for sharing a personal story.
God bless.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.